Let's now look a bit into Akbar. Akbar is often said to be the most secular of all the rulers. Everyone goes on to say that perhaps Akbar did most to reinforce Hindu-Muslim unity, and he was one of the most tolerant, and he did amazing economic reforms. But again, the primary sources speak something very different. The primary sources have very different story to tell. This is what was written on the coin of Akbar in the early days. Anyone who is versed with the script can check it out. It can be vetted, and I will recommend the Mughal fan club to really look into this. That what the coin is saying. It one side of the coin says La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, while the second side of the coin say that Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar Ghazi Badishah. So I don't at all understand that how can Ghazi be secular? One who is so fond of being called Ghazi, one who is so fond of embossing kalima onto the coin, how can he be secular at all? One interesting aspect is that the coin, what most of the Mughal fan clubs show you is a Ram Sita coin, but this coin was arrived only in 1605 AD, while Akbar died in 1605. So there are even sources which claim that it was not actually issued by Akbar but by Amar Singh. So I don't see even a basic point to understand that why Babur was not Ghazi. Now there's a claim which runs around that Akbar was actually given the title of Akbar. Akbar is not his real name by a Hindu businessman. Few people say that it was given by a Rajput ruler. But if one looks into Akbar Nama, he himself had given the title of Darai Akbar, calling himself the great ruler, and during the coronation. So again, this is also a myth around that the people were so pleased by Akbar that they just started calling him Akbar from very beginning. And this particular aspect of Akbar, calling himself Akbar, leads to a very interesting point. He was a person of a very narcissistic character who always wanted to celebrate himself a lot. He always had the desire of leading the people, and that was in the later days that he goes on to create a religion or the cult called Din-e-Ilahi. In 1578, the Mughal Emperor Akbar famously referred to himself as Emperor of Islam, Emir of Faithful, Shadow of God on earth, Abul Faith Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar Badshah Ghazi. It is most wise and most God-fearing ruler. It is happening in 1578, and in the early 1580s, Din-e-Ilahi was formed. This speaks of two things. Akbar was very fond of being known as the Caliph or the leader of the Islam, and he was too much dedicated and looking to become a mass leader of the religions or someone of a prophetic nature. So that is why actually Din-e-Ilahi had come into play. Now, if I go on to talk about the massacre of the Hindus, what Akbar had done, this is again a very long list. Massacre of Hindus of Gara in 1560 AD. This again I am referring from the Sage Encyclopedia of War, Social Science Perspective, edited by Paul Joseph, and this is widely accepted by almost all the historians. Abul Fazl is being quoted in that particular piece. He says that 48,000 Hindus were persecuted at the orders of Akbar. One may argue that, okay, soldiers were killed in the war, hence 8,000 Rajput warriors. But why Akbar killed 40,000 peasants? It was definitely for the hate for the Hindus and the jihadi trait or the Ghazi trait which he was carrying. Further, if I talk about the massacre of Gondwana, in 1564, Akbar conquered the Gondwana kingdom. The territory was ruled by Raja Veer Narayan, a miner, and his mother Durgavati, a Rajput warrior queen of the gods. Everyone knows about the Rani Durgavati, how bravely she had challenged Akbar. Later on, she commits Johar, and after her death in the battle of Damoh, while Raja Veer was slain at the fall of Chauragarh, the mountain fortress of the Gond, the Mughals seized immense wealth and 1,000 elephants. Kamla Devi, the younger sister of Durgavati, was sent to the Mughal harem. Persecution at Nagarkot. Nizamuddin Ahmad records the violence during the conquest of Nagarkot, which is modern Himachal Pradesh, as follows. The fortress of Vun, which is an idol of Mahamai, was taken by the Muslim assailants. A party of Rajputs who had resolved to die fought till they were all cut down. Not only this, Akbar even goes on to kill 200 black cows belonging to the Hindus during the struggle, who had just crowded for the shelter in the temple. I just don't get a logic why 200 cows were to be killed that time. Then they took off their boots and filled them with the blood and cast it upon the roof and walls of the temple. This is a complete sign of bigotry, and whenever I read about it, and when I see the image of Akbar being considered as secularities, I just feel that how much falsification of history we will keep on doing.